Hello everybody, it's that time again. We are going to do topic 12, Math Museum. It's 12 questions and it involves decimals, fractions, and number lines, and a little bit of money. So let's get started. Which represent the decimal 0.7? Select all that apply. Select all that apply means there's going to be more than one answer. So I have to think of what is equal to 0.7. Well, 7.7 is also equal to 7/10. So I know 0.07, that has two places, so that's actually 7/100. So that is incorrect. 7/10, right, can also be represented in fraction form. So I would color that one in. 70 divided by 100, or 70 hundredths. That's an interesting one, okay? Because let's write that out. 0.70, right, is also equal to 0.7, because remember, there's that imaginary zero, always with decimals. So this one was a tiny bit tricky. You've got to really look. 7 wholes, nope. And 70 tenths is, guess what? It is equal to 7. So that is also incorrect. So be very, very careful that once you add the zeros, right, it still becomes the same answer. All right, let's go to 2. Another one, select all that apply. Select all the statements that correctly compare two numbers. So when you're comparing numbers, you want to start from the largest to the smallest. So this is saying 29.48 is greater than 29.69. Well, 2, 20, and 20, I'm going to cross those out. 9 and 9, I'm going to cross those out. Now I'm comparing 4 and 6. Well, 4 is less than 6, so that is incorrect. And I'm going to do the same process again. 20 and 20, 9 and 9, 0.4, 0.6. 0.4 is less than 0.6, so that is correct. 15.36 is greater than 15.39. Okay, let's see. 10 and 10, 5 and 5, 0.3, oh, and 0.3. And now I'm comparing 0.06 to 0.09, but 6 is less than 9, so that is not correct. 16.99 is less than 17.99. Well, I know 10 and 10 are equal, but I know 6 is less than 7. And this one, woo, this almost tricked my old eyes. But 21.3 is equal to 21.03. Well, that's 21 and 3/10, and that's 21 and 3/100. So that is not equal. So that one is incorrect. Closely read. Put the work in for this one, right? Really sit there and compare your place values. All right, let's talk about Lucy. Lucy buys a puzzle for $3.89, a model airplane for $12.75, and a stuffed animal for $2.50. How much money did she spend in all? Draw or use bills and coins to solve. You could. That's a nice strategy. Not my preferred strategy. I like to just add. So you know how I like to add. I like to add two quantities at a time. So I'm going to pick 250 and 389 first, because I know those both have the same amount of place values. Okay, and I have my dollar signs because I don't want to forget them. And I'm just going to add like I normally do. 0 plus 9 is 9. 5 plus 8 is 13. Carry the dollar now and just copy your decimal. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. And now I've used those two, and I'm going to handle the $12.75. Watch your place value here. See how this one has 4 place values? So make sure that thousands, that $10, goes in the right spot. And I'm going to add one more time. If you wanted to add all 3 quantities, that is your choice. But you know how I am. I like to be very, very careful and precise. And I like to manage my quantities 2 at a time. 9 plus 5 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 7 is 11. carry the 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. Okay, and I copy that decimal. The decimal doesn't move. The decimal will always live right here. And 0 plus 1 is 1. I have my $sign, and my answer is A. Okay? Number 4. Everybody worked at my desk with this one. Which point is incorrectly labeled? Explain. If you don't explain, all right? So this is 3. I know it's a little hard to see. 4 and 5. And it is split into 4 sections each. So now I have to use some reasoning. What is halfway between 3 and 4? And that would be 3.5. What is halfway between 4 and 5? Well, that's already labeled, 4.5. So B is correct. Okay? So what is halfway between 3 and 3.5? 3.25. What is halfway between 3.5 or 3.50, right? And a whole 4. So remember, a whole is 100. So halfway between 50 and 100 is 3.75. So A is correct. But let's just check, because you know we always have to make sure. So halfway between 100 and 50, 4.25. And halfway between 50 and 100 is 4.75. Uh-oh. This one says 4.9. Okay? So C is incorrectly labeled because it should say, read 4.75. Somebody also brought up a good point. If it was 4.9, it would be a lot closer to 5. Another great explanation. Okay, let's get to some money, money, money. Catalina takes the money shown to the bookstore. Does Catalina, oh, and there's a table with new releases with all of the values here. Does Catalina have enough for all 3 books? If not, how much more money does Catalina need? Draw or use bills and coins to solve. Explain. You could, but first I want to add up how much money does Catalina have in her wallet. So that's 20. I'll write it here so you can see. That's a 10. That's a 5. And that's a 5. And that's $1. Okay, so how many whole dollars does Catalina have? 20 plus 10 is 30. 35, 40, 41 whole dollars. Let's see how much change she has. Okay, so this is a quarter. So that's 25 cents or 0.25. These are 3 pennies. So that equals 0.03. And these are dimes. So those are 0.10. So she has 0.2. So let's add up her change. 0.25. Let me scoot this over, you can see it. 0.20, because that's 20 cents, and 0.03. 5 plus 3 is 8, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So she has, her budget, right, is $41.48. Now I can revisit the question. Does Catalina have enough for all 3 books? Well, I'm going to have to add up all 3 books. So I'm going to add up $14.95 plus $16.55 first. Watch your place value. Make sure everybody lives where they need to live. 5 plus 5 is 0. Carry the 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. Carry the 1 one more time. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 6 is 11. Lots of regrouping. 31.50. Okay, now I have the history of Italy is $16. So now I have to do 31 plus 16, 0, 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 0 is 5. Bring down your decimal. 1 plus 6 is 7. And 3 plus 1 is 4. So all 3 books equal $47.50. Does she have enough money? No, she does not. Catalina does not have enough. but there is a part 2. If not, how much more does Catalina need? So you need to subtract. Remember, the larger number goes on top. Even though it's money and it's decimals, the subtraction rules do not change. So I have $47.50 minus $41.48. Same rules apply with subtraction. Don't be afraid of decimals, right? They're only there to hold a place value. 0 minus 8, I can't do it. I cross out the 5, I make it a 4, I cross out the 0, and I make it a 10. Now I can subtract accordingly. 10 minus 8 is 2. 4 minus 4 is 0. Copy the decimal. 7 minus 1 is 6. 4 minus 4 is 0. So Catalina needs, she needs $6.02 more to buy all 3 books. Or maybe she only gets 2. All right, that was a good one. Let's go to 6. This is a lot faster. Write a fraction and a decimal. Ooh. Fraction. Decimal. I love organizing my work like this. That represent the part of the grid that is green. On Friday, it will be the part that is shaded, okay, because we're not printing in color, okay? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is in hundredths. So I know I'm going to need 100 in my denominator, and I'm going to need 2 place values to the right of my decimal. And now I just count. You can count individually. I won't stop you. I'm going to skip count by 10 because it's a little bit quicker. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63. So you have 63 hundredths or 0.63. And you do not have to simplify on Friday. And remember, we only simplify fractions, never decimals. Okay, we've got another table. Let's get to it, okay? So this is a little hard to see. I'm sorry it's a little blurry. I did my best, right? Okay, so now match each number on the left to its equivalent fractions. So I am going to solve this top row. 200 100ths. Well, remember, fraction is just division, right? So I have 200 divided by 100, and that is 2. So I go here, and I color in 2. Now, 200 divided by 10, I'm going to do that again. I can't go into 2, but I know 2 10s make 20. And anything times 0 is 0. So 0 times 10 is 10. So my answer is 20. So I look for the 20 and I color it in. Now, 20 hundredths, I know that that is 0.20. So I look for which one is 0.20, and it's this one. And this is 2 hundredths. Well, I know that if I have hundredths, it's 2 to the right of the decimal. So it is 0 to 0.02. Remember the difference between tenths and hundredths. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. And I gotta color it in. Almost forgot. I got too excited. Okay. Select all the statements that correctly compare two numbers. Okay, same idea as, what number was that? Number 2. Okay, you have to go through the same process where you go place value by place value. So 7.27 is greater than 74.7. Well, even if I'm covering up, 7 is less than 74, so that would be incorrect. Okay, 1.24 is less than 1.42. Well, 1 and 1 are the same, but now 0.2 is less than 0.4, so that's correct. 58.64 is greater than 48.64. Well, I know 50 is greater than 40, so that is correct. I agree. 138.5 is less than 13.85. Well, I know 138 is much greater than 13, so that is incorrect. And I have 12.56 is greater than 12.65. See, here's where they want you to closely read because they're flipping numbers around and they're making your eyes cross, but you've got to take a breath and read. So 1 and 1 are equal. 10 and 10 are equal. 2 and 2 are equal, but 0.5 is less than 0.6. So that is incorrect. Okay, here's a pretty straightforward, we love bossy math, right? What fraction is equivalent to 0.4? So 4, I have one place value to the right of the decimal. So this is 4/10. And if you want to get fancy, you could simplify. I would be utterly impressed. Okay, so that fraction is 4/10 or 2/5. Also, let's not forget invisible zeros. That can also be 40 hundredths. Okay, don't forget those invisible zeros. All three of these would be a fabulous and acceptable answer. Number 10, explain how to find the sum of 3/10 plus 4/100. Well, right away I'm seeing a problem. You cannot add unlike denominators. Your denominators have to be the same, and you know how I feel about vertical. I'm a big fan. So now I have to convert one of these fractions to make them equal, and I'm going to convert this top one to make sure that these are hundredths. So I'm working with the same denominator, and I'm just copying the bottom one, the bottom fraction. Now, this is a lot easier to add. 30 plus 4 is 34 hundredths, which is also equal to 0.34. So how do I explain this? Just tell me step by step what you did. First, I made sure the denominators were the same. I multiplied by 10 to make them equal. Then I added the numerators. I'm going to squeeze it in here. It's just so you can see my explanation. Okay, and that's a great explanation. Tell me step by step what we did. 2 more questions. Okay. Use the table below. I have A is 6.89, B is 6.95, C is 7.09, and D is 6.98. Create a number line and plot the value of each letter. Now I'm going to tell you something. I am not measuring to see if you know exactly where these plotted points live on a number line. We want to know, do you know how to put these numbers in order? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw a number line, okay? And then you're going to start with 6.80, okay? And then you're going to do 7.10. So now you're going to plot these points where they live on this number line. So 6.89, A is going to be here. You can write it nice and small. The next one is going to be 6.95 because you're just going in order. Pretend those decimals don't matter right now, right? Pretend they're hiding. And it's 689 and 695. So I did that one, and I did that one, and then I did 6.98, and that's, point D. Oh, whoops. And now 7.09, that's going to be way, way closer to 7.10, okay? So like I said, I'm not sitting here with my ruler to make sure it's evenly spaced. I want to know that you know that this is the order of these numbers. Okay, last one, and then you're off the hook. What decimal represents 44 hundredths? Well, how many zeros determines how many place values? 44. And that's it, 0.44. Okay? Please look this over. If you have any questions, of course, you can ask me, but I think you're going to be A-okay for Friday. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.